All right, Dak Prescott, this time you lost me. Cowboys contracts and Dak Prescott, and this time you lost me. I'm Mike Fisher, your trusty and trusted reporter. This is the Fishbowl, and good morning. It's breakfast at Fishionies. I have not been an anti-Dak guy as a Cowboy observer. Certainly not as a reporter. I think he's terrific in so many ways, on the field and off. And as I've said for years and years about him, when it comes to his contract, to find somebody of his quality as a person is so unusual that I really believe that I would pay him in part for his play and in part for his person. And if you don't allow yourself to see it that way, just think of what a disaster it is when you hand over a big check to somebody who's a jackass. So you're inviting Dak Prescott to be a vice president of the company when you're preparing to give him, $250 million or whatever it is. Deshaun Watson is the vice president of the Cleveland Browns. Aaron Rodgers is in charge of the Jets. Lamar Jackson is the vice president of the Baltimore Ravens. That's how much, NBA has been doing this for years. You bring LeBron James to your team and pay him like that, like you pay top players in the NBA. He's now part of management almost. That's how important he is. That's how much sway he has. So I respect all of that, and I respect how difficult it is for both sides to come to this point and to get it done. I still think that the number is so clearly, to me, in the range of $55 million. I don't think that part's difficult. Working on the assumption that the Cowboys have offered something in that range, I think it is on Dak Prescott to take a good hard look at whether or not that's, quote, fair enough. And I say that while, as always, hesitating to give somebody who I'm not his dad, I'm not his financial planner, not his banker. So that part of it's not my business. But this part is our business. Dak Prescott told you a few weeks ago, and he's repeated this a number of times, he's decided he likes this song and dance. I don't play for the money. Now, many of you, 71,000 fish heads in Cowboy Nation, many of you scoffed at that at the time, and I understood your scoffing, but I did respond in a favorable to Dak way. My response was, I understand what he's saying, that he's not singularly motivated by money. Because obviously, we all work for money. This idea that I'd do this job for free, no, you wouldn't. You can't do it. You wouldn't because you couldn't. Because you can't do a job for free because then you can't pay the rent. So Dak Prescott has bills to pay. He's got a big house now. He's got a family. And obviously, really and truly, now he's well beyond generational wealth. So now it's concerns about the Prescott heritage, and that's grand. He's earned that. All pro football players have. Whether you make $1 million or $50 million a year, you've earned it. Good for you. But he said, I don't play for the money. And now he's kind of suggested that the idea of a hometown discount is out. But you do play for the money in a literal sense. The hometown discount is your business. It can be argued that you have made a great deal of money by being a Cowboy in a way that you wouldn't have made if you were a Seahawk or a Bronco or a Brown. That could be argued. It's easy to say that again from my chair, and it's easy to say that from where Jerry and Steven are sitting. If you're the actual guy who's out there getting your ankle bone sticking out your skin, you have the right to see it differently. But this one, Dak Prescott, you lost me on. Dak is suggesting that he is obliged to keep pushing the salaries higher for quarterbacks. That's his duty. Diddly diddly dink. What? Quote, I'm a guy that grew up with two older brothers. Okay. You understand what a brotherhood means. Okay. Again, I'm not trying to be argumentative here, but Dak, I'm the oldest of 6 kids, 5 boys. You really don't need to lecture me on having brothers. I appreciate that that there's 3 of you, there's 5 of us. But thanks for the tip. It's a brotherhood, not only just for this team, but the fraternity of the NFL and the players. Money's out there, money's going to happen. It can be done. It can be done. And that's a positive stroke here. Dak is tossing in there, because he certainly has tossed in a lot of remarks about what it'll be like if he leaves, his willingness to leave, his readiness to leave, what he might look like in another uniform. It's been very, very clever on his part. He is trying to get the Joneses to see, listen, I'm serious. I will go play for the Giants. Or the Saints, or the Falcons, or the Raiders, whoever. Whoever wants to pay me next spring, whoever wants to pay me $70 million a year, that's who I'm going to play for. And I've been telling you 60 for a long time. And a lot of people laugh. I've been talking about 60 for 8 months. And now here we almost are. It'll be more than that next March. Says there's ways to make it work both ways. Good. But he also says it's always about pushing the envelope for the next man. Straight dope, no BULLSH. Why? Who made that rule? Dak Prescott is trying to have you believe that the reason that he's pushing for more money than whatever it is the Cowboys are offering isn't for him. Because I don't play for the money. I'm doing it for the next quarterback and the next of the next, so he can make more. Okay, fine. I do look stupid, but I'm not. Do I look stupid? That's not what you're doing. Because if that is the necessitated service of the quarterback who's up for a contract, then Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, they're not doing their job. They're screwing the fraternity. Patrick Mahomes is sitting back there now making $45 a year. What a rat that Mahomes is. Where's Josh Allen? 42? 45? What a couple of traitors. How dare Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen not go into their owners' offices and say, I demand 60. Why do you want 60? Because I have to do it. I have to do it for the other quarterbacks. You know, someday Jaden Daniels' contract's going to be up. And if I don't get 60, you know, then I won't be forging the path for my younger brother. Caleb Williams in Chicago, someday he's going to need a new contract. And if I don't demand 60 now, how's he ever going to get 80? Dak. You shouldn't have said this. This kind of makes you look dopey, but more than that, it makes it look like you think we're dopey. Dak, nobody's falling for that. Nobody is swallowing that. And I'll tell you why. If you decided to do what Mahomes did, you think the other quarterbacks would boo you? You think the other quarterbacks are mad at Patrick Mahomes? You think they're mad at Tom Brady? Because he took less? Think they're mad at Aaron Rodgers because he took less? The numbers are going up at all these positions, Dak, and the cap's going up, and the number at quarterback is going up it doesn't matter if you get 50, 52, 53, 55. The number's going up. The next guy's going to get more than 55, and he'll be the guy that bravely forges the path. This is not cute. I mean, I think Dak thinks he's clever, and I think he thinks he's cute, and he's wrong. He wants you to believe that he is trying to get a bigger contract than the Cowboys have on the table because it's his obligation as a brother in the fraternity of NFL quarterbacks. Because if he doesn't get a bigger contract, then the next guy behind him won't. That's ridiculous. The next guy behind him will. The next guy behind this mini generation of quarterbacks, the next guy behind the Tua and the Love, will get more than Tua and Love. It's inevitable. Regardless of what that. Well, notice this. I didn't see Tua say that. Hey, the reason I'm not signed yet is I got to do it for my brothers. I got to get more. Hey, the reason I didn't sign yet, I didn't see Love say this. I know I'm only 25, but I'm really, really concerned for the 24-year-olds behind me because I need to make sure they get a raise someday. I didn't see them say that. I didn't see Jalen Hurts say that. I didn't hear Josh Allen say that. Didn't hear Aaron Rodgers say that. Didn't hear Matthew Stafford say it. Matthew Stafford goes in and asks for more money every year. You think he's doing it for the fraternity? Kirk Cousins didn't say that. I've never heard that before. This is a valid concept if we're trying to break through some glass ceiling. Hey, I'm the first. No woman secretary in this building has ever gotten a raise. It's 1940. I'm going to get a raise because Rosa. Somebody's got to move to the front of the bus. Somebody said I'm going to sit in the front of the bus. Rosa Parks. Somebody did that. Dak, you're not a woman secretary in 1942. You're not Rosa Parks. You think you're a pioneer who's got to lead the poor quarterbacks to $70 million salaries? Because if you don't do it, nobody will. 2022, Mahomes signs his 10-year deal. I think it was $450 million. Everybody knew, as eye-popping as it was, everybody knew that eventually, halfway through that deal, he might appear to be underpaid. He doesn't care because he knows he wasn't, because he got overpaid at the beginning of it, and he's a little underpaid now, and there's plenty more where that came from. Other quarterbacks have signed more lucrative deals than Patrick Mahomes now. He doesn't blink. His answer is he and the Chiefs, because he's a vice president of the Chiefs, we do a great job of managing my money to be able to pay money and keep a good team around me. Now, part of this tisk from me isn't just to Dak, it's also to Stephen Jones, who keeps pretending that it's so difficult to do. But all these other good teams are doing it. All these other good teams with great players are doing it. So, Stephen, it is on your shoulders to do this because it is doable, and everybody proves it. But Dak Prescott, it's on your shoulders too. So, Dak, I would, speaking for Cowboy Nation, you really should remove yourself from discussing this in public. Because while you're a person of character and a man of credibility in so many areas, you are losing credibility here. I don't play for the money. Bull. I couldn't possibly take a hometown discount. Sure you could. I've got to fight for more for the next generation of quarterbacks, because if I don't fight for them, who will? Straight BULLSH. Fish out.